Hello, pilots! So let's talk about what you're here for. Is Titanfall 3 dead, or is it going to happen at some point? But first, I want to give a little context to everything, because we just had the 7th anniversary. And then I'll talk about how the community is reacting overall, and then I'll give you my opinion at the end on whether or not I think Titanfall 3 is ever going to see the light of day. So let's get into it. As we all know, on the 28th of October, a few days ago, Titanfall 2 had its 7th anniversary. And well, not much happened, to be quite honest with you. There was a new feature playlist, the Anniversary 2023 event. The description read, "Happy 7th anniversary to all pilots." There was some double XP, the Relic and Colony map were added to the Frontier Defense, and there were multiple game modes added: EPG Arena, SMR Arena, and Energy Chaos. And that's about it. Although these modes were fun and the new maps for Frontier Defense is great, it's not really what Titanfall fans were hoping for. Let's be honest, we all wanted to hear about Titanfall 3. Anything, any little scrap of news. And what makes it even worse is we didn't even get so much as a tweet from Respawn about the 7th anniversary. Which, that one hurts. That one definitely hurts a little bit. All they really had to do was, retweet a Titanfall 2 fan, and that's about it. I mean, talk about low effort, and they didn't even do that. So after the 28th came and went, the community, as you can imagine, was not doing so hot. There's basically 3 camps of where people are sitting in the fandom, and not to mention right now the current subreddit for Titanfall is,
also maybe a lot crazy.
It's a mess. It's an absolute mess. It's a little bit crazy right now. So pretty much the 3 camps that the fans are in are as follows. You still have your unmedicated hopium group that very much still believe that Titanfall 3 is coming. Except now they're wondering if it's going to be at the Game Awards in December.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah! Which isn't a bad theory. It could happen. The next group of people are just flat out kind of mad and frustrated with the community, as well as Respawn and EA. This kind of manifested in the subreddit as people kind of kicking the fandom while they were down, calling people idiots, and I can't believe you guys actually thought this was going to happen. I don't personally love this to do to other fans, especially, because people were very excited, but I could understand that people probably got a little bit annoyed with the non-stop, constant Titanfall 3 is coming, then all of a sudden, just radio silence. I could understand why people got a little bit annoyed and frustrated, but still not a good look to kick your fellow pilots while they're down. And finally, the third group is just flat out depressed, sad boys, just bummed out that nothing really came of the 7th anniversary other than a playlist. This really kind of hurt a lot of people in the sense that they got so excited, and then by noon on Saturday, they pretty much lost hope. Now, granted, this is a total generalization, and I am sure that people are all over the spectrum on this, but that is kind of where the community's at right now. I have been thinking about this for a while, and that's why it took me a minute to make this video. Part of me right off the bat has to look at this more than from being just a Titanfall fanboy. And instead, I wanted to look at it more from a perspective I understand even better, which is from a business standpoint. Because that's my world. That's what my day-to-day job is, and I've been doing that for the last 15 years. So that's how I'm going to quickly approach my theory on what's going on. The analogy I'm going to use really quick, I think we can all relate to. You know when you go grocery shopping, you load up, you get home, and instead of eating the food that you just bought, you get takeout. Of course, we've all done this, but sometimes even after that day of getting takeout, you get takeout again, or you do some kind of quick meal instead. And then pretty soon you start opening your fridge and realizing, I better start using some of this food I just bought, because if I don't, it's gonna go bad, and I completely wasted my money. And so for me, that's the best way to explain, I think, what happened here with Titanfall 2 with Respawn. I think that they looked at the fact that they have invested in this game. They did marketing for it, they pushed it out, they financially backed this game and did not get their ROI or return on investment that they were hoping for. After a few years of the game not performing to the level they wanted, then their servers started getting DDoSed, and they kind of took their time to focus on other things. And instead of focusing on the servers and everything, they just got takeout, aka Apex, and started working and focusing on that. But at a certain point, they had a moment where they realized, hey, the 7th anniversary of Titanfall 2 is coming up, and either we do something with this game that we have financially invested in, or we just say, screw it, and throw it away. So that's when I think Respawn started cooking. They started actually utilizing what they have already invested in with Titanfall 2. Because when you think about it, they did not need to fix their servers at all. A lot of players were already on North Star. So at this point, you literally have players on their own servers. And you could have just said, heck with it, we're gonna make the game super cheap like they have. New players can play the campaign, they can jump on North Star for multiplayer, and we can save a bunch of money and shut down our servers and not give any more time to this game. And then overall, they still would make a little bit of money off of the game from people buying it for really cheap, but they'd save a bunch of money from having to deal with DDoSing and servers and updates. But instead, they decided to fix their servers. They decided to take the time now to rotate out different gameplay modes and playlists, to interact with the community through their own network. All that takes time and money. And I've heard some of the theories that, oh, they just gave this to a couple interns to work on. But I can assure you, as someone that has worked at very large companies as an intern, especially at large companies, they don't let you just do little projects here and there for fun. They actually want to utilize your time to work on projects that can benefit the company and make significant revenue. So from an outsider looking in from a pure business standpoint, it makes zero sense to invest any time, any resources, any money into a 7-year-old game unless you think you're going to get a return on your investment in some way, shape, or form. Companies like EA, they want to make as much money as possible, and they don't do charity work like this. We all know this. This is classic EA. So that just makes me ask, why would they do this? I just can't seem to wrap my head around it, considering they haven't done this for any of the other anniversaries in the recent years. So as a community, I think going forward, we need to look at a couple things. Do we continue to get game modes, updates, new playlists? Are the servers still stable? And are we still able to play? Because if we are, and we continue to have this kind of progression, there's something going on here. Because Respawn and EA would not take the time or the money or the resources to do any more of that. If it just completely dies off after the 7th anniversary, then yeah, we're in trouble. That's not a good sign at all. So yeah, I know some of you might be saying, hey, they're just trying to get Titanfall 2 fans into Apex so they can use those microtransactions to make more money. I get that idea, but it's 2023, man. Either you've played it or you haven't. Titanfall fans that are very avid about Titanfall 2, they already know about Apex. They know whether or not they like it or not. I don't think that getting servers running for their game that they actually care about is going to get people to switch over. I just don't see that happening. If anything, I would think that they would take the business model that they have currently with Apex, they'd implement that into Titanfall 2 so that there's greater microtransactions so that they could make more revenue that way. That's me being cynical, but I would not put it past EA to do something like that. So yeah, that's my theory and how I'm viewing things right now, that we probably need to be a little bit more patient and see if there's other content that comes out, or if they continue to interact with the community using the game and the network and servers. And I'm sure some of you right now are just saying, oh, he's just coping, he still hasn't taken his pills yet or anything like that. But hey, that's how I'm looking at it from a business standpoint and how I kind of view things right now. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Have you given up hope? Do you still have hope? Are you still not taking your pills? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you want some more Titanfall news or just video game news in general, and I'll talk to you pilots later.